Hey, what's going on, guys? Norsky here. At this point in time, we still don't have a ton of information about Battlefield 5, although we are going to find out a ton more new info within the next week because of the EA Plays event, which takes place this weekend, and also E3, which takes place next week. Those two events should give us gameplay and a look at some of the weapons and maps, which is kind of exciting. Anyways, today's video topic is an important one, especially when it comes to the overall variety of weapons and maps we could see in Battlefield 5. The topic or question is, how many factions will we see in Battlefield 5? It's a question that nobody in the community really knows the full answer to at this point in time. What we do know at the current moment is we will start with two factions at the launch of Battlefield 5. The two factions we are starting with are the Germans, or the Third Reich, along with the British. Honestly, only starting with two factions at release seems a bit low, even at launch. Just for comparison, let's take a look at the factions that we had at the release of Battlefield 1. As you can see, we had the British, the German, the Austro-Hungarian, the Italian, the Ottoman, and the American factions just at the release of Battlefield 1, which is 6 total factions. The variety of playable factions in Battlefield 1 was obviously a lot higher than the supposed 2 that we're going to be getting at the release of Battlefield 5. The major armies or countries or factions that will probably be added into the game through updates are, well, actually, let's just say that I guarantee you these factions will be added into Battlefield 5 at some point in its life cycle. First off, the United States, obviously because they were a huge factor in World War II. Same goes for the Soviet Union and the Empire of Japan. I'm also thinking the Italian Empire will be in the game at some point too. France is a faction that I'm not completely confident about, but I still think it's pretty likely that we will see the French faction released at some point in the game. The last faction I think we could possibly see is the Chinese, which were involved in the war, only to a much lesser extent than the rest. Honestly, the main reason I think DICE is only rolling out with two factions at the release of Battlefield 5 is because they want to possibly go in a chronological timeline of the countries involved, and I think they might want to keep some of the things historically accurate, at least for when certain countries enter into the war. Now here's one of the articles that kind of describes how they plan on adding new content into the game. Tides of War brings you and your personalized company into themed experiences of the war, starting with the fall of Europe that span several months and are filled with timed events. These can include multi-week grand operation, special assignments, and new missions. The timed events will push further into unexpected and influential battles of World War II over the course of Battlefield 5. The Battlefield 5 you play at launch will evolve over time. Our goal is to surprise the community by adding in new content and making you want to revisit existing battlefields. It doesn't really describe how frequent the updates will be for new content, but I'm hoping that DICE can possibly give us new content on a weekly or even bi-weekly basis. Even if that means just adding in one new gun or map or something of that nature every week or two, I think it'll help the life cycle of Battlefield 5 immensely. I think part of the reason Battlefield 1 died so quickly was because of the long periods of time in between new DLC content. I mean, DLC 1 took 5 months to release, and DLC 2 took almost another 6 months after DLC 1. If DICE can become consistent and maintain that consistency of releasing new content, then I think the player base will hang around a lot longer, especially now that all of the new updates and content are free. My question for you guys is, how many factions will be in Battlefield 5, and specifically what factions? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, and also if you like this type of content, then hit the subscribe button and become part of the Night Squad. Thanks again, guys, and I'll catch you later.